Oh, you guys, I almost forgot one of the biggest parts of that story. How about after all of that, fighting off spiders, fighting off like crazy folks that you order ahead and you don't get what you ordered? Like you do all this strategic planning of your life and none of it goes like planned. Do you know? I rush and I make it to my appointment, right? Try to go in the door, fidgeting on the door. It's locked. I'm like, okay. Is my appointment today? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is today. And my neck hurting. Like, I really need some relief. Like, I'm sure it's today. It has to be. Do you know? I realize and go because I couldn't get in. I'm calling. Nobody's answering. So I'm like, okay, well, let me look at my phone and see did they call me. They called to reschedule my appointment. So I didn't even have a chiropractor appointment today. The doctor had went out of town. So I'm like, wow, like for real. That's really everybody hates Kadlac. For real. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed that story. I got some way more crazier ones. Maybe I should get into number 2 right now. Let me hit y'all with both of them. Both. BOFF. Both. But okay, let me hit you with the next one. Whew. Now, let me tell you. Now, I told you a little bit about myself. Y'all might know me. I don't know if y'all know me from Facebook. A lot of the prison wives, we are in some of the same like little outside groups on Facebook groups or whatever. I don't even know. Y'all won't talk to me. I don't know where my subscribers are watching me from. I have no clue like where you know me from. If you do know me or how did you find me, can you please put that in the comment section so I can know, so I can get to know you guys. Maybe if I know who you are, then I can make more content that's geared towards you, more that you may enjoy or whatever. But yeah, so if you know a little bit about me besides, prison wife life, my mother always called me her weird child. I'm different. I am different. I'm crazy. I'm weird. I joke. I'm very sarcastic. I have this sarcastic humor, which I actually think is funny. But, some people think sarcastic humor is rude. But yeah, I got a quick sarcastic humor. And like I'm goofy, like a lot of crazy things happen to me, and I'm goofy. I like to like crazy dance, or I like to make crazy faces, or that's how I rap a lot of times. I'll just find a crazy sound that I hear in my head, and then it'll turn into a melody, and then it'll turn into a song. So I'm like a goofball or whatever. It's just so much in life is so serious. I can't be my real goofy self. Like, doesn't that suck? Like, for real, that really sucks that I can't just be fun and happy and crazy. Like, that's a lot of what made Marcello, like, fall, like, in love with me. Because I was always laughing and joking. We were homeboy and homegirl, like, for real. So, y'all know I'm crazy. The most happens. So, you also know that a lot of bad things happen. And I'm like, why me? Why? Like, I ask that a lot. Why me? And y'all know I do way too much because I'm an artist. I always had that artist hustle. I don't know. What was that movie? I think it was something with Ice Cube where his daughter, they said, what does your daughter do? And he said she's an artist. So they made like a little joke like, oh, so she's not going to have any. Like, for real, artists don't make money. Like, it is so crazy. I have my whole life tried to be an artist that makes money. I will sell a piece of artwork far and few in between. I have all kinds of art forms under my belt. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I'm a rapper, a songwriter, and I just cannot make it work. Like no matter how hard I try, it I really don't understand it. I have a lot of great talents, but I can't make anything like stick at all. So I do a lot of my stuff. I always have to do my stuff, but I always have to work a 9 to 5 because I can't support myself off of my artwork. That was always the secondary dream of my life. Well, it was always my dream, but then when Marcello was wrongfully convicted, that became my biggest dream, to have him free. And then the second biggest was to be an artist. Like to just be, just make money off of what talents you have, something that doesn't have to hurt and irritate all my little herniated discs and all that stuff. So that's why, like, even with graphic design, there's levels of graphic design. Like I never ever opted or aspired to be the best graphic designer. Like there's levels to it. Like some make like regular amounts, regular wages or whatever as a just normal job, 9 to 5 job. And I would be fine with that, making just regular wage, like as long as it was something that I was doing because I love doing it. I love creating. I love Photoshop. I love Photoshop. So you could give me a job making $14 an hour doing Photoshop all day. I would be in love. I don't have to make top dollar. I just want to do what I love and actually be able to pay my freaking rent off of it. So instead, I have to pay my rent off of a job that irritates all my different handicaps. So that was always a struggle in my life. So outside of work, I'm always doing something to try to still push towards that dream because I really desire to not have to, work and hurt myself. It's not because I want to just be freaking lazy. It's like when you are an artist, that's all you want is the world to see your art, to appreciate your art. Because like I said, my art means nothing to me. If I just make it and I myself look at it, so the freak what? It means nothing. I need you to look at it. I need you to appreciate it. I need you to enjoy it. That's the whole point. My art is for you. But I can't get the eyeballs on it. So I kind of just make it for my own self, which I love it and I enjoy it. But I wish you guys would love it and enjoy it as well. So anyways, it was one day. So I would get up at crack of dawn. I would be working on my side projects. I would be working on my homework, this, and that. So before work, I have to be there at 11. Then I'm getting up at like 5 and 6 o'clock, even though I just went to freaking sleep. I have to create. It's something, and I cannot stop. I have projects I have to act upon. So, and the same thing is happening with YouTube. Like, I really want to quit YouTube, but I can't. I have so many more new ideas, and then I have so many videos I didn't put out yet. So, out of my time of doing all that stuff, I'm always creating. That was the whole point of that whole rant. I'm sorry, got off a track. So I'm heading to work, and I leave for work like just in enough time to get to work because I'm always doing something. I feel every moment of every day. So I'm on my way to work, and I work at a theme park, and I always leave way too late because the dumbest stuff happens. It makes me late. I feel like there's something out for me to be late, like every single day in life. Even if I leave early, I'm going to be late. It just doesn't stop. So I'm on my way to work, and I'm like, I'm going to be on time. I'm going to start being on time. And I try, baby. I do try, y'all. I try. I have my stuff out a little earlier. I'll make more time. Like I'll try to, and it just don't work out. So this day I'm ready to leave. My cousin hits me up, and he's like, can I get a ride to work? Because he worked almost the same way as me. And I'm like, no, I'm already on my way. And, I don't want to be late, so I don't have any time. I'm sorry. But if you know me, I can't tell nobody no. I can't. The words will come out my mouth. No. But it will freaking bother me. I'll be like, dang, I probably could have helped them. Let me see how I can help them. And I'll be racking my brain about how I can help you with your problem. And I got my own problems, but that's just how I am. That is me. Like, I always want to help the next before I can help myself. And that's probably why I'm in the detrimental hole that I'm in, is because I spent so much time helping others. And I kind of put myself on the back burner all the time. All the time. I'm on the back burner. So I'm like, no, I can't. And then they already know 10 minutes later, Keita is going to call them back. So I call back and I'm like, okay, probably I can pick you up. I'm running late. Like, could you come? Okay. So the way that they lived, it was in a subdivision on a corner. So on this one corner, it's a out. Like, you can come out, but that's coming from the way of my house. So the way the street comes across like this, you can come from my house this way, and there's an exit right here. So you really have to go up to the light, come around the corner to come in the entrance, right? But I'm rushing. I don't have time for that, to go all the way around, come in, go through the gate code, and pick him up all the way. Like, you have to come around, come in, go all the way to the back, then come around, where if I came in the exit, then I could just pick him up right there, right? So I remember one time, and if you know another thing about me, it is so completely hard for me to do something wrong. If I know it's wrong, I cannot bring myself to do it. Because I always feel like, even if people do it, other people do it, and I watch you do it, and it's like you never get in trouble, I'm definitely going to get in trouble the minute I do it. So I just try to always do the right thing. Like, I'm not perfect, but I try my best to always do the right thing. But I get crazy results back. So my cousin was like, everybody goes in that exit. Like, one time he was like, just go in the exit. And I'm like, no, I'm not going in the exit. I'm going all the way around. And he's like, everybody goes through the exit. Okay. And I didn't do it. But that day I was rushing. So I'm like, okay, let me just go through this exit, pick him up real quick. First he was supposed to be on the outside waiting, and I was just supposed to pick him up, pull over to the side of the shoulder of the road, pick him up really quick, and then we flying to work, like zoom. Okay. He couldn't get out that back gate because didn't know actually a person can't get out that back gate unless a car pulls up to exit. So I'm like, okay, it's a busy neighborhood. Let me pull over. I'm just waiting here. Somebody eventually gonna exit. And he could pull out. Okay. He never comes out. I'm like, what's going on? So he never makes it up to the front. Then he finally gets up to the front. And I'm like, it's just taking too long. I'm about to be late. Like, every single second matters. So finally, last minute, because he's like, you know what? I'm just going to walk up to the front. And I say, okay, I'm going to zoom around. In the last split of a minute, a car comes out the exit. So I'm like, okay, so now I could just slide in there. After he come out, I slide in there before the gate closed. I go in the gate. I come down the side street. I see my cousin walking. So I'm like, he's like walking towards me. I'm driving towards him. So I have to I'm like, okay, so I'm going to pick him up and we're going to go back out that gate. So I turn around. The way I turn around, I didn't do a U-turn in the street because that's like wrong. And you already know the most is going to happen. So I turn into someone's driveway just so I can back out quickly and then cut the other way. I turn into the person's driveway. Immediately, a freaking truck, a big truck, like one of those big pickup trucks, parks right behind my car. I'm like, what the? And I'm trying to back out. I literally pull in the driveway for a second to pull right back out. He blocks me in the driveway. And I'm like, excuse me, what are you doing? I felt like ramming, like backing my car into it. Like, what the hell? Why are you trapping me in this driveway? Like, what are you doing? So my cousin, he meets up and sees us, and he's like, what are you doing? You blocking her in. Why are you keeping her in the driveway? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, she came in the exit. I'm like, huh? Like, are you for real? So he's like, do you even live around here? Do you live around here? And I'm like, my cousin like, don't you worry about if she live around here. She live around here because she, you know. I'm freaking out because I'm finna be freaking late to work again. Late again. And I should have just took my behind on to work. I shouldn't have thought twice. But my heart is always in the right place. I'm always trying to do the right thing. So the man got me blocked in. We're like, sir, please move your freaking vehicle so I could pull out. Then the owners come out. They're like, hey, get out my yard. Get out of my yard. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be in your yard. The man is freaking trapping me in your driveway. Move, sir, so I can move. So these people, I don't know these people. These people could do whatever to get me off their property. I'm like, is this really happening? Like, what? So then the man is like, I'm the neighborhood watch. And I say, you don't come in the exit. You don't come in the exit. And I'm like, the one time I come through the exit, I'm trapped in somebody's driveway. I was so freaking mad with several A's in the middle. Like mad. This man will not move. At this point, I can't even attempt to make it to work on time. Like, for real? Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? So finally, he's like, I'm calling the police on you. I'm calling the cops. So I'm like, sir, please call them and tell them you're entrapping me in these people's driveway. And the people are still, get off of my yard. I'm like, can they not freaking see? So finally, my cousin, like, you know what? I'm calling the cops. And he gets on the phone and starts calling the cops, saying that the people are trapping us in the yard. Man jumps in the truck and drives off. That was just a plot to make me late for work. Are you freaking kidding me? And at that point, I couldn't even make it on time. I think I might have made it on time. I don't know. But I think at a point when you're late, it's another checkpoint where because we do points or whatever. So it's a checkpoint. It depends on how late you are by how many points you lose. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, at this point, I'm still just trying to make it because I hate losing my points. Baby, them points. Only time I really lost points is when my mother passed. So, right before she passed, it was the most happening. It was too much going on. It was really everybody hates Kadlac up into, it was bad. So, I get there. It's packed. There's nowhere to park. So I'm like, great. So I had to leave the car with my cousin. I was so mad. I was not going to let him drive my car. I was freaking pissed off. So he had to park my car, and then I had to run as fast as I can around this big old theme park to get to work. So then he calls later and said, hey, you know, I got her keys or whatever. So I was able to clock in and come back up, get my keys or whatever. And he caught the bus from there. But I was so, if you watching this, I was freaking mad at you. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I no longer ever wanted to do a favor for another breathing being at that point. Because I'm like, my big old grown self constantly having all these different excuses to managers on why I'm late. Like, it made me feel like pie on my face. Like, girl, like by your age, you should be getting... Oh, I ain't even got the key in, so that ain't gonna happen. By your age, girl, you should be responsible and be getting to work on time. So in my mind, I'm thinking, boy, these people think I'm just ridiculous, but they didn't know all that I was going through. Like, I have a husband in prison. I'm trying to raise our daughter alone. She's in high school. She's going, like, doing the most. She's in every activity. Things going on with the guidance counselors. I have to call them. I'm in school. I got homework due. I'm doing projects. People really don't care about what's going on in your life. They never question what's going on in your life. They just immediately jump to judging you. And that is story number 2 for Everybody Hates Kadlac. I was pissed off. Like, man, where you come from? Like, how do you have the right to hold me, like, stop me from being able to move, like leave? And if I had rammed into his car, then it would have been me wrong. But man, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't even know what they're going to do. Like, that was dangerous. But that's my life. Everybody hates. It's Kadlac.